We are back with MindMomBodyRN, and we have my friend Elsie here today. Oh, I don't want to say more important, but we have two VIP guests here today. Can you introduce them?
Well, we have Pickles right here. He's 1. And Pumpernickel, the salon manager, and he's 3. Pump.
And so for just the people that are listening and aren't watching, will you talk a little bit about their breed?
These are King Charles Cavalier Spaniels. This is my second and third one. My other one just passed away, Louis Dog. He was about 15, but he was at the salon every day. Pump has been at the salon since he was 9 weeks old. And Pickles has been with us now for about 7 months. So...
And they are your mascots, right?
They are the mascots. If you come in and get a spray tan with me, they will be there to greet you.
Yes. Oh, and speaking of, so we started with the dogs, but Elsie also does my spray tans. That's why I'm fabulous.
Bronzed.
Yes, bronzed.
Glowing.
Yes. Can you talk a little bit about your business and how you got into it and kind of like, I'll just be honest, Elsie's a goddamn hustler. So I'm just going to give you the floor to kind of tell a little bit about you.
So I own Custom Airbrush Tan in Minneapolis. Cat Salon MN on Instagram. I started in 2011. I opened up a location. I actually didn't know one thing about spray tanning when I opened it.
How did you get into it?
So I worked in med device, sales and research. And so Pumpernickel is done. And so I got sick of traveling for work all the time. And I had opened the salon prior because I used to get spray tans in my hotel rooms. Mm-hmm. And so I figured, why doesn't anyone have this in Minnesota? And so I figured, if you can't find it, train someone.
Yeah.
There was tanning salons that had spray tanners, but they were always a new person every other week in some back closet. Mm-hmm. They had 2 colors, and it was basically me telling this young kid how to do their job.
Even though you'd had no training?
Yeah. Okay. So I was like, no, I know what I want. And so I had bought into a tanning salon in Minnetonka. Mm-hmm. And then because they were very weird about giving out tanning license and letting people in the industry. And so I figured that's a good way to get into it. And I had worked in my med device job and I wasn't planning on quitting. But long story short, I just went in and quit one day.
Yeah, you were done. You said
I was done.
You were done with corporate. You were like,
I was done with corporate. Yeah. I just couldn't. But I had really high hopes as a 23-year-old and thought I was going to be a multimillionaire by 25. So I didn't think I needed to work.
Yeah.
And I just hired people.
Okay.
Come to find out that didn't work out that way.
Okay. Yeah.
So my employees, I actually pulled them from other salons.
Oh, you poached.
I poached, offered them double their pay.
Wow.
So I was paying $20 13 years ago, $20 an hour plus tips.
Wow.
So because I figured most people are motivated by money. Come to find out that's also not true.
What are people motivated by then?
There are so many different things.
Yeah.
There's people that want recognition. There's people that want to be a part of a team. There's people that want to build something. Mm-hmm. I am not a micromanager. Mm-hmm. And I'm also not the type of person that's going to oversee you, but I also have very high expectations of you. Mm-hmm. And so for me personally, it doesn't make sense for me to have a lot of employees. Mm-hmm. I just don't enjoy it.
Right.
So anyone that works for me is very independent. I feel that they can do the same level as me. I don't have to monitor their conversations. I want them to have the same experience as they would with me.
Right.
And so, plus the turnover rate is just, really high.
But also, with high standards, you are really good at what you do. And you, get in, get out, you're fast. You're friendly and stuff like that. But you're not, you don't hang around. You get your stuff set up. You get it done. And you get, you're really professional in that way. And yeah.
Especially with the type of service that I do, people are uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. every day I hear like, just so you know, I'm not like the skinny 20-year-olds you tan all day, which is like not even true.
Right.
But it's like, I don't even respond to those type of comments, which maybe I should, but to me, it just feels weird being like, no.
You're hot
like,
as fuck.
Right? Like, it just feels weird. Actually, once I did have a girl call me out and she was like, oh, I've put on weight and stuff. And I just like didn't say anything. She goes, this is where you should say, no, you don't look like you gained weight. And I was like, this is really weird that you're telling me what I should say to you.
Right, right, yeah. But it's like, clearly it's like she knew what she wanted you to say.
And I was like, this is such a weird interaction. So,
yeah. So, what? Okay, so I have so many questions, but keep going. So that you decided that you like were like, I actually want to do this. This is my thing.
So I had employees working for me, and I had quite a bit of money saved up. I mean, the one thing Med Device does pay really well.
Right.
And so I was like, I won't have to work. Well, it didn't work out that way. My bank account was draining. So I just randomly decided to like start taking clients. Like I never even told them.
You never even trained?
No, I had no idea what I was doing. I just did it.
Wow. Okay.
But I mean, when I have trained people, I mean, I can tell within 2 minutes if someone's going to be good or not. Like, you either have it or you don't. Like, I feel like it's the same with like entrepreneurship or, things like that. It's like, sure, you can send someone to school for it, but there's people that are just like, they get it or they don't.
Yeah. And you just like kind of know. It's just like,
yeah.
And it's like you're like a chemist back there too, because she'll like, when she's doing the spray tan, she'll be like switching bottles around because she has different solutions for different parts of the body.
Yeah.
Can we talk about that? So I have had other spray tans before.
Yeah.
And we'll like end with listener questions if that's cool.
Yeah.
But what is it about like, because the other people I've had have one bottle and they kind of just like all over, and you're doing like playing chemist all the time, like switching bottles around. What is different about your technique, your approach, how you do it?
So, I mean, when I started, I bought like the main like big box manufacturer ones out there. But what I did is, I went on the internet and looked for every spray tan company out there, wrote down their full information and researched them, and then personally called every single one of them and asked to speak to their lab or their chemist, and then asked to have them send me samples and stuff. So I tried everything I could possibly find out there.
You like did the market research?
Yes.
Okay.
So, I think that there was probably like 40 different companies, but we're talking like companies that like maybe sold 10 bottles a year up to like the mass market ones.
You have literally tried all of them.
Oh yeah, like all of them. Then I couldn't find what I wanted. And so
And when you say couldn't find what you wanted, what did you
like
what
I wanted the color to look like. So how I really got a decent business was I decided to go into competitive spray tanning for bodybuilding shows. And so you buy the contract for that. Mind you, I didn't have a competition solution. I just pitched myself to companies. I had never even done it. And I got contracts around the Midwest. And so you pay to be there. So like bodybuilding shows, like you buy out the contract, and like they're very highly recommended that you go with the sponsor tanner. And so I didn't like any of the solutions out there. And so I just wrote down the things that I wanted, like no scent, doesn't transfer, sweat proof, but you don't want to look like that color forever. And I hired a chemist to make that for me.
A cosmetic chemist.
A cosmetic chemist. And when they made that for me, there was like, people were like, can we buy this from you? Like, they just couldn't believe. They're like, it doesn't sweat off. I'm like, right.
Yeah.
It shouldn't. Like, and they're like,
I paid for that shit.
It's not orange. It's not red. Like, and back then it was like Jantana and Liquid Sun Rays were like the popular ones for competition tans. And I just didn't like the color. And I was like, why can't we just make a brown one? And so that's what I did. And it got me a lot of contracts. But it's a very like burnout type of job. So when you spray, say 120 competitors, you do like 4 coats twice. So you start, Friday at like 8 a.m., spray until midnight, and then start again at like 3 a.m. on Saturday.
Were you playing like Chemist with the bottles then too?
So I pre-mixed my colors.
Okay.
And then my staff at the time knew which ones, like Station A is for your first coat, Station B is for your second one. We got an oil made, everything. So
wow.
It just, by the end of it, like people would think, oh, like you're taking in $25,000, and it's like, no, because I'm paying to be here. I have staff here, and like you'd be so burnt out for 3 days.
Yeah.
After spraying that many people, it's like, This isn't worth it.
Right.
So, I mean, I'll still do for a lot of the shows around here, I'll still take, 20 competitors or whatever at my salon, but I do not usually ask to sponsor, but actually now there is a company that has asked us to come out of retirement, but we have to take many contracts with that one. So I guess we'll see.
We'll see where it's going.
We'll see where it's headed. So with my product line, so then the solutions or whatever, I just wanted a higher grade, and I figured the best way is to just make it. So I did originally go to school for chemistry and biology. I was going to be a vet.
That's right. Yes.
And then I realized once I got there that I don't like animals that much. I'm deathly afraid of a lot of animals. I don't like animals that are wild, that bite.
Yeah.
So I do have a basis for it. So I made my own product line. I still do. I mix it right at my salon. Or at my house sometimes. Or
but you're like Walter White. I've been like with Breaking Bad. You're like, okay, we're gonna do a little of this.
Bottles and different colors and bronzers and
skinnies,
skin tightening. So during COVID, we had to be shut down for, I don't even know, 2 months. So I made my own self tanner.
Is that the face water?
So, yep, the face water is one of them. And then,
that came out of COVID?
Yeah. That came out of COVID.
Will you explain to them what face water is?
Yeah,
it's
so
amazing.
face water is basically a self-tanner. It's no scent. It just looks clear like water. People think it's going to do nothing, but it just tans you. I guess the reason why most people don't realize why you use a face water is if you use any type of anti-aging on your face, any retinols, vitamin C's, any exfoliating type products, you only want to use a clear. You don't want something that has a bronzer or it'll turn patchy. So if your neck has ever gotten weird right here or on your face, it's splotchy, it's probably because they used a bronzer on you.
Okay, that makes sense. I just want to go through and I just want to say the things I observed about my spray tans with you that have been different with all the other ones I've gotten. And then maybe you can tell me why it's better. So you use a different solution when you spray my face. And that's that same, just like a clear solution. A clear solution. Yep. The other thing I've noticed though, is that like when you do skincare, like by using your face water, it extends the tan. Right. Because like then we can still keep up our skincare and just,
you can still use it. Without turning your face orange, and then also that your face isn't completely faded off.
Right. And so it's amazing. You just squirt it on, go to sleep. I squirt it on and go to sleep. I don't know. Yeah. Okay, so that's the difference. The other difference is the skinny. Like I literally I have cellulite, and you notice like it literally goes like 80% away after I get a skinny spray tan. What is that?
So it has skin tightening technology. So one of the ingredients is caffeine. The other two are proprietary.
Okay.
So basically it just like pulls the water out.
Okay.
So it's kind of just like instant gratification.
Yeah. But it lasts for like 3 days.
Oh yeah, easily.
Yeah.
So you can add it to any of my spray tans, or I just have a skinny solution that's already made or whatever.
Okay, so the other thing that we were talking about earlier, and this is a listener question, but you will let, I go nude. Yeah. So you will let, like, how does that work?
I let anyone go nude.
You let anyone go nude?
Unless I get a weird vibe about people, then I don't.
Yeah.
But it's FDA's recommendation that you use nose plug, eyewear, chapstick, and undergarments. They want you to cover any mucous membranes. But that also goes for if you were using hairspray, Most people don't cover their face when they're using hairspray. So it doesn't bother me. It's one body is all the same. I couldn't tell you if you have tattoos or not. Like people always ask like, oh, last time I wore underwear, this time I don't want to. Is that okay? I'm like, I don't even remember what you look like yet. Yeah. How would I possibly remember that?
That's what, like, I always have patience because, like, you've seen one vagina. You've seen them all. And they're always like, oh, my gosh, you've seen my vagina. And I'm like, I couldn't tell you anything about it. Like,
exactly. It's like it goes out the door.
Right.
Like,
yeah. You see so many.
Right.
Okay, so one of the questions the things I wanted to add is that I've always been left alone with barrier cream, figure it out, and there's a little sign on the door. You apply the barrier cream for us, which is like, you're like, exactly the spots.
Right.
So how did you start doing that?
I was trained by California Tan initially, and they said that it should be like a spa service that like, you take the extra steps with the people, but also you don't want them to mess it up.
Yeah. Okay.
And so it seems like you're going the extra mile, but it's more so like, I don't want people to like rub it all in. People will rub it up their arms. A lot of people will like Google search things and it's like, well, you could just ask me. I'm right here.
Right.
Like,
There's so many. So those are the questions.
Right. I mean, like my before and after care is very like detailed and people will be like, well, I mean, I saw that Dove soap is pretty good to use with your tan. And I'm like, or you could just read my very detailed instructions that say absolutely no Dove soap.
And that you send to us.
And they're like, well, yeah, but I saw like a TikTok that said it was okay. And I was like, that doesn't make sense to me, but
right, yeah. And like also coming from someone who's like chemist and like done chemistry, you're like you understand like the reasons why these chemicals are not going to work together.
Right.
So it's like
it's like it doesn't make sense why you're trying to like push the barrier or like try to do something different.
So why is it with you also that you always say shave, exfoliate the day before, not day of?
Because when you shave, you're actually irritating your skin. It opens up your pores. And then also a lot of shaving creams have straight oil in them.
Okay.
So if you put lotion or oil on your skin, it will irritate your skin. Then it's not gonna, and then you fill your pores with water. So then it's not gonna grab as much solution.
So there's
so
a
it's
method.
not as deep of a tan. Now, do I have clients that shower right before? All the time. But to maximize your results to make them last as long as they do. Mm-hmm. I don't recommend doing it right before.
Right.
And like some people with like really coarse hair and stuff like that, like the solution, the bronzer can grab in it. And then if they just shaved, it'll like hold on in those spots.
Oh, so it'll get like the strawberry leg looking thing. Yep. Oh, so it grasps onto. Oh, sorry, buddy. I'm just a mess. Here we go. Okay, so that makes sense. There's a method. There's a reason why you do all these things.
There's a reason why I do the things that I do.
Yes. And so then you get sprayed. And what's your aftercare protocol?
Aftercare, with all my tans, it's a rinse. Mm-hmm. The first shower, no soap.
5 hours. Or you give us
it just depends on what you want to look like.
Okay, so I know that my number is 5 hours, but that you have a different number.
Everyone is, right. So, I mean, I can make it as fast as 30 minutes. Mm-hmm. The more DHA you do add to your skin, that's the active ingredient in spray tans, the more drying it is. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, the longer you can leave it on, but still in a reasonable amount. First shower is just a rinse, and then you're good to go. Mm-hmm. Sulfate-free soap starting the next day, and then moisturize daily, alcohol oil-free.
She has a lotion line.
Yep, got a lotion line, and then using a tan extender and sunscreen is kind of my go-tos.
Can I say that my favorite thing about your lotion is how good it smells too? It smells. What is that modeled after?
It's modeled after a YSL perfume.
Okay,
and another like Victoria's Secret. They mix the two scents together.
Okay, it's like delicious smelling.
So
I'm gonna go through some of our listener questions.
For sure.
Is that okay? So previously I've gotten a spray tan and I've always turned orange. Why did I turn orange, and how do you, we kind of already covered it, but it's just
most likely using Dove soap or like just a regular soap right before your tan. if you're going to a professional at this point in the game, I mean, you would hope they know what they're doing.
What are some good questions to ask before you use a spray tan?
Ask them what type of line they use. If they're using like MindBody or Saint-Tropez or something like that. I mean, that's just something anyone can buy. Mm-hmm. Like I have to have a license to buy products. And then obviously with the stuff I make, I mean, they can buy it from me if they're a spray tan artist.
Yeah, that's right. You do sell your solution.
I do wholesale solution as well. Or I can make a custom color for a salon.
Yeah, and I wanted to talk about how, like, there are plenty of clients, right, for everyone, and this is a good business to get into, like, because we had talked about how it's a good business for, like, moms, and it's a hustler business, but you'll get clients.
Right. I mean, I think that people have to set reasonable expectations of the type of money they're going to make. I mean, this is my full-time job. I've been doing this full-time for 12, 13 years.
You also, I also have to like say this, like you're very particular about the clients you choose.
Yes.
You have like,
I don't just take on anyone.
Right. You're an industry leader. Like,
I appreciate that.
No, it's true. But you're kind of the standard for what the best spray tan in Minnesota is. And like, you don't have to engage a lot. Your books fill themselves.
Right.
So like, I think the best thing, like, that I want to push too is that like look her up if you're interested in this for her solutions, right? Like buy her products if you're interested in becoming a spray tan artist.
It will, yes, they're going to be more expensive than your basic solution, but it's also going to change the game that people will be like, I've never had a tan last as long.
Right.
Like I've never had a client that turned orange. I've never, things like that. Also, none of my solutions have a scent. Mm-hmm.
So, that's so nice.
Like, you're not going to smell weird. People are always very worried about the scent. With mine, you won't. I guess I have one solution that has a watermelon scent, but I don't actually make that solution.
Right.
So
that's like the big difference.
And it's just a lot more pure. I don't add parabens. I don't add like shelf stabilizers.
Because you go through your products.
Yeah, I go through the products. So, I could if a salon needed that, but I prefer not to just because, I mean, why do we need a bunch of chemicals to like make it last longer on your shelf? Right. Just buy a smaller quantity.
Right.
So,
okay, I already answered. Somebody wanted to know, like, there's so many different exfoliation, like online, you can't get a straight answer. You answered that. So you have clients that like get kind of special occasion spray tans, and then you have your regulars that come in every week.
Yeah.
What can a client that gets like a special occasion spray tan expect out of their tan? And then what does it look like to be a regular?
So with a special event tan, it's going to last about 7 to 10 days. I mean, same with my weekly clients. It's all about how well you maintain it. Mm-hmm. So there's a few different ways that you can go about it. But like I have some clients that don't necessarily want to do a membership with me. I was the first person, I think I'm still the only person that does a monthly pumpernickel. Lay down. That does, so I call it monthly unlimited. It means you can come once a week.
Okay.
It's basically the cost of 2 tans, and those clients have like a standing appointment.
Right.
The one thing that I have done with those clients is once you lock in at a price, you're always there. So I have people from 11 years ago that are still on their pricing.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So do I probably lose money? Yes. But I also value loyalty.
Right.
So, and those clients have, paid my rent for years. So
I have to say too that like, and I'm not trying to like toot my own horn, but you're so good at what you do that like the other day, like she was at my house like before I was, and I was like Andy, my husband likes the way you spray tan so much. She's like, we're just paying her for 2 spray tans. We cannot have her like not come back here again. Like we cannot fuck this up. Like that's, I mean, you're very talented.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
No, but it's just like, it must have taken a long time to build that level of like clientele and rapport. And
yeah, I mean, I think the thing that I tell other salon owners, like when I train people, I I will train people on chemistry and stuff like that. That's not like my passion. It's more so I sell friendship more so than anything.
Yeah.
So what I tell most salon owners that they do wrong is they talk about themselves the entire time. And like a lot of people are like, well, I didn't even know you do that, or this, I didn't even know you have that. And I'm like, yep, that's because you don't know me at all.
Right.
But I mean, it's essentially like I'm a therapist for, 20 minutes for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And it's not that it's like a fake thing. Like I believe, especially my pricing isn't basic. It's not, $30 for a tan. But with each person that comes in, it's like those 20 minutes, it's like all about you, whatever they want to talk about. Like, I will go there. Like, we want to dissect your attachment theory. Okay, let's do it.
You do.
Like,
you do.
Whatever they want for that moment is who I will be.
Right.
So, I think that you gain a lot more by like genuinely being interested in your clients. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not like a social media person. Yes, I have one. I post here and there. I post the stories, but like, I'm not trying to find the top Instagram influencers. I actually don't do influencers. Everyone pays.
Yeah.
So, I just feel like it's way more authentic.
It is.
Now, I do give referrals. You give anyone that sends me a referral, I give them $5 a person. But like anyone that has a membership, they pay. Just because I think that it's so fake these days, and companies like influencers will company jump.
Will you confirm? Like, I do pay.
Yes, like she does pay.
Like, you came
Everyone pays.
Yes.
My own best friends pay.
And that's
so,
because you hear so many people too that you get taken advantage of.
Right.
And it's like, I have so many people that call me for like free nursing advice and I'm fine to like give it, but I love that you set that boundary for yourself.
Right. It's like, then nobody's resentful. And like my close friends, they book an appointment the same as anyone else. They send me a text. They don't expect me to come in at midnight on a Sunday.
Right.
Like, it's like, oh, hey, can you fit me in? Yes or no?
But you also lock them in at that same price.
Right, when exactly. So they've been locked in for years.
Yes.
They might get an upgrade or two here or there.
Yeah. But that's a loyalty that you get back to them. So it goes both ways.
Right. Yeah. So, and then also for I have some clients that will do like one tan a month, and then they'll use my at-home products. Mm-hmm. So like my at-home self-tanner. So it's essentially my exact solution. I take that and add certain ingredients to it to make it a self-tanning mousse.
Right.
So it's real solution. Mm-hmm. You essentially don't need me.
But it extends too.
It'll extend, but you don't. I have some clients that have moved across the country. Like one of my regular monthlies, Emma, she moved away probably a year and a half ago. Every single week she tans herself. She's never gone to another spray tanner.
Really? Will you teach them how to do it too?
She kind of like knew, but
yeah.
And I mean, I actually named a solution. She's the first person I ever named a solution after.
Can you say it?
Emma.
The
Emma tan.
The Emma tan. I love that. The Emma tan.
Yep. I also have Liz Lee, which is named after Liz Kruger.
Okay.
She's one of my first clients ever.
Awesome.
So, and she is an influencer. She sent me a lot of clients. Liz does pay.
Everybody pays.
Everybody pays.
Yes.
But yeah, like I said, I value my loyal clients and like who they are, but like they also value me as a person, and like, I pay for their services and vice versa. So now, and then also, I've had, like the other day, I had a client that's like, I have my baby shower tomorrow. Is there any way? It was like you do 10 o'clock at night. Any way I could get a bottle of mousse right away tomorrow? I'm like, yeah, of course, for you. Like,
yeah.
Whereas you can't call up Target because they're sold out.
Right. No.
So
exactly.
Plus it's all custom blended to your exact skin tone.
You also, like, even with myself, like you show up. Too.
Right. I try to.
Yes. You really do. And it's like I've never had you tell me no, even though it's always at the last minute. It's like okay, so the one last question someone wanted to ask you is So what about Saint Tropez? Oh, they wanted to ask, do you ever spray tan pregnant moms?
So yes, I do.
Okay.
I'm probably one of the only salons that does. Legally, I can't tell you if it's okay to, because I'm not a licensed doctor. But my sister is. So, and she's totally okay with it. I am happy to give all my ingredients out. I don't hide anything. There's nothing that you can't use of any of my product line that you couldn't use on a baby.
Okay.
Like, I think it's weird that you would use things on yourself that you couldn't at other points in time. So, yes.
Yes. So you spray pregnant
I will
moms
spray people, but I can't legally say
this is
that
safe.
it's safe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So, and then I think that my other question that I kind of wanted you to say is, when you are kind of just, you feel low. You don't even have to be a mom. You just feel shitty. You and I were talking about this the other day, that a spray tan, it's like an instant confidence boost.
Right.
And it's safe. Please stop using tanning beds. Please, please, please. You're going to die. You're going to get melanoma and you're going to die. Stop. Okay, get spray tans. They're safe. They're wonderful. Yeah. What I was going to say, though, is we talk, how often do you see a mom that you spray, or just a woman and you just see the pep in her step after you're done?
I mean, my favorite people to tan are people that have never done it before.
Really?
Or guys, because they're like, oh, my wife's making me do it before the vacation because I don't want to look weird in the photos or whatever. Yeah. And so I'm like, okay. And then by the end, they'll be like, oh, wow. I look really good. Yeah. And I mean, I have full length mirrors in my salon. And so they'll go from oh my gosh, to okay, yeah, this looks good. Yeah. And so, I mean, it just it's an instant confidence boost. Yeah. It brings... there's no other way to describe it other than you just look different. And you glow. You glow. You definitely glow. Right. And it's not makeup. I have some clients that ones that I tan weekly, some of them maintain it impeccably. Others do absolutely nothing. Yeah. So by day 6, it looks not great. But then they just get a fresh one the next day. Yeah. And then they just feel better about themselves. It really makes such a difference. Right. It makes you, when you're putting on your clothes, you're okay, it's not as bad as I thought. Yeah, for real. That really is. I mean, for me, if my face isn't tan or my stomach isn't, it's I'm not even showing my stomach to anyone. But when I'm putting on a shirt, I'm oh my gosh, okay. Yeah, right? But when you look tan, you're damn. Yeah, I look exactly. Good. Yeah. And then you try. Yeah, you do. I feel it just makes you want to try harder in life. I always say that one little choice can turn into a lot of good choices. Yes, and absolutely. That's all it takes. Is that one built-in pep that makes you feel better. You just, I mean, I have servers that say that they make more money when they're tanned, because they feel better about themselves. Right. When you feel better about yourself, you're going to be nicer to people. Yeah. You're going to maybe smile for once. Right. Yeah. I mean, there's days that I show up to Trader Joe's looking homeless and, I don't feel great about myself. I'm much more likely to not make great choices then. Yeah. Whereas if I'm dressed up, I'm oh, wow, okay. Yeah. You know what? Yeah, we're going to get the green juice. Yeah, right. That's right. So true. That's so true. My last question was, okay, I had 3 people ask this. What about, a lot of people love Saint Tropez, a lot of people hate it. What are your thoughts on it? So Saint Tropez, the DHA in it, so for one of my mousse products, mine's going to be 4 times stronger on average. Okay. So Saint Tropez, the level is very watered down. I mean, I haven't tried it in years, but it's just going to be a mass marketed product. Right. So, and I'm not even going to say it's a reasonable price because I mean, actually my face water is cheaper than Saint Tropez. It is. Yeah. So there was, for a while it was pretty close or whatever, but yeah, now it's at a price point that's higher than mine. And you have to, people will be well, I have to use it daily. I'm you don't need to use it daily.
No.
Like, I mean, a bottle will last most of my clients about 3 months.
Yeah, for real.
So, like, you don't have to keep adding it. So the same with Saint-Tropez. It's like, yes, it'll give you some color. And then after 2 showers, it's gone.
Right. Yeah.
And then, whereas mine is a true tanner, so it'll last a good 7 to 10 days.
Right. Like, actually, though.
Right.
Yes.
Like, and at 7 days, you're not white. It's just not your, like, best.
Right. Right.
And so it's just going to be a lot lower grade product.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to say it's bad. The ingredients, there's a lot of ingredients that you can't pronounce.
Yeah.
All of mine are going to be like ingredients that you can pronounce.
Identifiable ingredients.
Right, exactly. Like, sure, there's some bronzers. There is some dyes in them. I do have a new color that I'm releasing that is dye-free. So,
okay.
Is it going to get you like you've been to Mexico for 3 weeks? Probably not. But it will, if you're trying to go completely natural, it is going to be 100% natural product.
Probably going to be better than Saint-Tropez.
Yeah. So, whereas like with my mousse now and stuff like that, like the only thing that maybe some people wouldn't like is that there's bronzer in it. But
yeah.
So does Saint-Tropez.
Yes.
But mine's going to be a lot stronger. And there's no scent with it as well.
Right. And I want to highlight you, like you're a very talented spray tan artist, but even more than that, you've created this amazing product line. And so I really want to like highlight on that. Can you tell like people where to find your products, where to find you? If like people have questions about the products, will you work with them?
Yeah, for sure. So like with my self tanner, they actually fill out a questionnaire. Unless they just, I mean, literally you can send, like I'll have people email me a picture and say, can you make this color? It'll be some random person off the internet. I can do that.
Yeah.
But like if you want advice on your exact skin tone of what you'd like it to look like, I just send over a questionnaire. They fill it out. I send you an invoice. You pay it online, credit card, Apple Pay. We take it anything.
Right. Yeah.
So, and I'll mail
your
it to you.
packages are out within 24 hours. Always.
So, yeah. 6 days a week. And then, or they can pick it up at the salon in Minneapolis.
Right.
So, but like a bottle will typically last people about 2 to 3 months on average. So they can just maintain it. I include very detailed instructions. Like some people think they actually get a little overwhelmed. So I always say, it's just, I'm a detail-oriented person. I give examples of what not to use and what to use, just because it gives me less questions back. Like, hey, is this okay to use?
Yeah, because you want people to be confident in what they're doing.
Exactly. And I'm never going to like push, like people will be like, well, if I can't afford the sunscreen or something, it's like, you're going to be fine.
Yeah.
Yes, ideally you're going to purchase this one, but if you don't, you're still going to be fine.
Right.
Like it just might not last 11 days.
Yeah.
So
for sure. So your product line officially is called?
It is Custom Airbrush Tan right now.
Okay. All right.
We're working on splitting the companies.
Okay.
So that should be done by the end of next month.
Okay, so if they want to go and buy your products.
Yep. So Cat Salon MN.
Okay.
They can email me customairbrushtannmn@gmail.
Awesome.
I have a website. I don't have online ordering on the website just because it is customized. But yeah, they can call, text, any of those.
Yeah, and tell Elsie MindMomBodyRN sent you. No, I'm just kidding. Like, no, but really. Thank you so much for coming on.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you. And if you go to her salon, okay, you get to see Pumpernickel and Pickles, which is
which is kind of a highlight.
Definitely a highlight.
They do like dog treats. They do like carrots and cheese.
So if you come.
I will say her daughter is 6 and offered them donuts and
actually gave one
and tried to give them a donut, and they said, no, that's okay. And she said, okay, well, can I get them something to eat? And so she got them cheese, and so they're in love with her daughter.
Maybe. Then she like locked them in like her makeshift kennel, so I don't know, but
she's working on her dog training skills.
Yes. Awesome. Thank you so much for being here.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. And take care, Mama.